Greetings, writers. As we're jumping back into the informative writing, we left off with talking about our subtopics and then also doing research right over here related to that subtopic. Now we're going to get into subtopic number 2, which is reducing distractions. You should have picked something different than I did. If you're using the same one, then you're going to have to find different research, and we'll go about doing that. So otherwise, you will grab this and then you're going to go and search your subtopic inside of Google in order to find 5 different facts that you will cut and paste. But from my point of view, watching, I'm going to mirror this for you. Watch what I do. I will go here. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to hit Control C and go up here and go to, actually, going back really quick, right here, I'm going to take this and go down to slide number 12. This is going to be where I'm going to do my research. Notice it says research and note-taking. So now that I have highlighted this and copied it, I'm going to go back up here and go to how do school uniforms provide less distractions. Now, AI is going to come up with what it is up here, but we know that our computers are not doing that. So I'm going to ask you to go down a little bit further, and I'll find 5 facts about why schools' uniforms provide less distractions. Right here's one automatically to begin with. When the emphasis shifts from personal appearance to academic and personal achievement. So I'm going to put this, which is right here. Excuse me. Go back, and then I'm going to highlight right here. Now, I already know that these aren't my words. I would know if you copied this. These aren't your words, but we will change them into our words. Into my words, I should say. And I don't even need to put a number there. Emphasis, when the emphasis shifts from personal appearance to academic and personal achievements, it encourages students to pursue excellence without distractions of fashion-based hierarchy. So in other words, fashion can become a distraction to academics. Okay, I will change that to that type of sentence. Now I'm going to go back and get a couple more. I'm going to go down here first. School uniforms reduce distractions, aid safety. I'm going to go into this article. I am going to go down and read a little bit. I am looking how uniforms are less distraction. Dress codes have been successfully used throughout the United States to promote school safety. Ooh, right there, less of a distraction. I might come over here and I'm going to say that school safety, if you're safe, means less of a distraction in school. Now, you are doing your research on your subtopic. I'm going to continue so you can see how I do it. So I'm going to now go back out. Ooh, the other thing I want to do is go up here and grab, highlight that website, copy it. Try this again. Copy that website, and I'm going to put this down here, right there. Put that there so that way I can use that website in the future to show the teacher where I got my information. Now I'm going to go back here. Maybe I get a couple more facts from here. Sometimes you can find a bunch of facts inside of what you're looking. Parents of children who attend schools with clear dress codes find it a relief in knowing that not only may clothing costs decrease, but their children will also be in a safer learning environment. I might want to put that. Okay? And I will change that to my own words. So now I have 3 things. I'm going to get 2 more just to be safe. So I'm going to back out of this website. I'm going to go in here, how do school uniforms help us focus? And we talked about distractions, less distractions. I might get a couple of good bits of information in here. I am skimming to find some bits of information, understanding the concept of school uniforms. And then, now, this is a really good one. The primary aim of school uniforms is to create a sense of unity and equality. Now, I'm going to go back and double check because that might have been my third subtopic. Oh, uniforms cost money. So good, I can use that with here. Okay? Creates unity, which means less distractions and safer. Oops, I double copy that. So let me go back here. Let me try that again. We can do this right there. We'll take this. The uniform becomes a symbol of belonging and fosters a sense of pride and unity, which means basically less distractions. Okay, and then I'm going to get one more. Coming over here. Maybe I can find one more. The psychological impact of wearing uniforms. Wearing uniforms can have a profound psychological impact. It instills a mindset of readiness and professionalism. Okay? So maybe because you're dressed more professional, you're not going to be as distracted and be ready to work. Now, notice how I have this here and his here for subtopics 1 and 2. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take subtopics 1 and subtopics 2, or the peach and the green, and we're going to move them over to where we're going to get ready to do our own writing. First, we will start with subtopic number 1. And in order to do that, I'm going to go down to what will be, we're going to skip to number 14, which is Introduction of Writing a Lead. So there are many ways to start your writing piece, and those are called a hook or a lead. Informative writing should always start with a strong lead or a hook or opening sentences in order to grab the attention of the reader. Below are types of strong leads and examples for each. For each type, write a sentence based on your own topic. Now, what this is saying is that they're giving you 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways of coming up of how you start your paper, which is called a lead sentence, or it's going to be called a hook. There are a couple different ways. You can ask a question. You can start with an interesting fact. You can use a quote, or you can set the scene. Like, imagine this. So let's start with asking a question. And I'm going to come up and write, have you ever felt that wearing a uniform in school would make school better? Question mark. All I did was come up with a question. There are a bunch of different questions you can come up with. Maybe you want to say, is wearing a uniform good for students when they go to school? You could come up with many different types of questions. So you could come over here and talk about what is a good question for an essay about school uniforms. Let's see what they come up with. What are the advantages and disadvantages of school uniforms? Why is it important to wear uniforms in school? Do uniforms make schools better? And that's kind of what I wrote. How do uniforms affect students? There's a couple of different ones, and you can put it into your own words, and that would be a question. And that is writing a lead. We haven't decided which lead. We're just going to brainstorm for. An interesting fact. I'm going to come over. Now, an interesting fact. What's an interesting fact about school uniforms. Let's see. We can go right over here. What's a good factor? It creates uniformity between socioeconomic classes. Since students are wearing the same uniform, there is less of a distinction that can be made between students. Okay. Why should school uniforms? Why students should wear uniforms? We might just go here and find a quote. Creating a standard promotes the idea that we're all the same. Children come together from different backgrounds. I'm going to pause this for 1 second. So now I might do this as a way of getting a quote. And I'm going to say this. This is going to be the quote that I use. I'm just going to copy, cut, and paste it. Come over here. And I'm going to paste it in there. Now that would be a quote. In order to make it a quote, I would go like this. I'd add a quotation here. And then at the end over here. So this might be a way that I start off. They did, while the human body is composed of 206 bones, sharks do not have a single bone in their body. Minus can be related to uniforms. And I might say, rather than building a sense of community and quality with a school uniform, allowing children to wear what they can create divisions between them. That would be a fact. Now, let's go to a quote. I'm going to come over here and go, what's a quote about school uniforms? And since we're trying to get exactly the same thing, we can copy, cut, and paste this one. This makes sense. Maybe go up here. Let me see if there's images that have quotes. Our uniform is part of our school identity, uniting our students, and we hope that they take pride in wearing it. Here's one from a kiddo. When everyone is dressed the same, students won't have to worry about socioeconomic judgments. Socioeconomic means how much money people have when it comes to clothes. Pros of school uniforms should be abolished. Wearing the school uniform is a total denial of human rights. So this is somebody that says it isn't good. School uniforms provides a more professional look and attitude. Let me see. Now I'm going to go back and do a little bit more research over here. Here are some quotes. I think it's great news for all us who have advocated for school uniforms as a way of building the community. I'm going to take that. I'm going to go over here. Now, what you need to keep in the back of your mind is you can use these. It was done by Theodore Mitchell, and they said this. Now, for my last lead, I am going to set the scene. The set the scene is going to be like this. Imagine, and I'm going to use the same word that they used here. Imagine walking into a school and everyone is dressed the same. Okay, let me move this. I'm just going to start up, leave it at that. Now I'm going to go back and zoom out of this and know that we have these for when we start our writing piece, when we get to our introduction. And okay, now since we've done our leads here for number 14, we are going to go to number 15. Let's talk about your introductory paragraph. Now watch what I do. They talk about over here as an introductory paragraph is going to be this. Following your strong lead sentence, which we just did, we'll pick one of the four. The rest of your introduction paragraph should introduce your topic, which is going to be, our case, is going to be school uniforms, and the three subtopics. And we're going to look at an example really here in a second here about tropical rainforests. Give your readers an idea of what your essay is going to be about. You don't want to include too many facts and details at this point, but simply introduce the readers to your topic. So watch what they do. I want you to pay really close attention. They did their lead sentence, imagine a place where it rains all day, okay? All we'll do is copy, cut, and paste our version there. Then the topic, there's this tropical rainforest. It says the unique biome is known as tropical rainforest. In our case, it's going to be school uniforms. Then look at how their subtopics, climate, plant life, and animals, are put into sentences. And this is what they said. In a tropical rainforest, you'll find hot, wet climate. Boom. Notice how they don't talk a lot about it. Unlike any other terrestrial environment, you will be surrounded by lush, bright-colored plants. There's the plant life subtopic. And a large variety of diverse animal species. There's the animal subtopic. The rainforest offers an amazing environment just waiting to be explored. Now, at this point in time, I am going to write my introductory paragraph. The first thing that I'm going to do is pick a lead. I'm going to go to slide number 14, and I'm just going to use this question. Have you ever felt wearing a uniform in school would make school better? So that is going to be my lead sentence, and I will paste it right here. Now, I'm going to briefly talk about the topic. And it says here, have you ever felt wearing a uniform in school would make school better? Well, some have debated this question about the advantages and disadvantages of having a uniform in school. I'm going to put a period there. Now notice that this right here is basically my topic of school uniforms. Now the next part is going to be my subtopics, which are these three. 1, 2, 3. Watch what I do. I'm going to go back up to my slide right here, number 9. I'm going to take this, copy it. I'm going to go back down to slide number 15. And I'm just going to put it down here. Right there. Boom. Easy morning for parents. The other one, going back up to slide number 9. Highlight that. Control C, reduce distractions. I'm going to go back down here to my introductory paragraph on number 15. Boom. And then my last thing was going back up to slide number 9 is going to be uniforms cost money. Now, you will take your 3 subtopics. Remember, those of you that are using my Peach one, you can do that. You might have something different here for a subtopic and something different here. Now, watch what I do. Going back to slide number 15. Now, I put my 3 subtopics right here. Okay? And now, I'm going to write quick sentences about them like they did. They wrote about the climate really quick. They wrote about plant life and animals. I'm going to write really quick about easy morning for parents, reducing distractions, and uniforms cost money. So, often, notice how that's a transitional word. Often, uniforms are less of a distraction for parents. Our uniforms make the morning time easier with decisions for parents and students, comma. This means less distractions, comma, and buying uniforms can cost less money than buying a wardrobe. Notice how I talked about this subtopic in here, right there. Notice how I talked about this subtopic right here, right there, and then the last one. Now I'm going to just get rid of this, and then I'm going to go back and proofread to make sure everything sounds good. First, I'm going to indent by doing 5 spaces with my spacebar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can hit the tab button. Now I'm going to reread it. Have you ever felt that wearing a uniform in school would make school better? That's my lead sentence. Well, some have debated questions about the advantages and disadvantages of uniforms in school. That's the topic. Now my subtopics. Often uniforms make the morning time easier with decisions for parents and students. This means less distractions. That was my second subtopic. And buying uniforms can cost less than buying a wardrobe. That's my third subtopic. Now, my introduction paragraph is done. And then, in the next video, we're going to take our research and put it into our proper sections that are peach, mint, as well as purple to start doing our first, second, and third body paragraphs. Good job.